Yo, what's going on, people? You don't know. Look, check it. Today I want to show you something that really helped my trading. Um, Especially in the beginning when I just like started out and was confused about a lot of things. Um, it is about which zones to avoid, right? I'm not going over which zones to take because which zones to take it's I wouldn't say more difficult, but it involves more knowledge. But knowing which zones to avoid is going to lead you to the path of okay, which zones to take. It's like you're living in a forest. Scene. Let's say you're stranded in a forest or a jungle. Not all berries are good. Some berries will kill you. So if you know which berries will kill you, then it will help you know which berries to eat faster. All right. So if you look at the map, saying, oh, by the way, we're back testing Euro USD. We're just going to look at the map and learn, right? So if you look at the map, you have zones everywhere, right? And for those of you who don't know what the zone is, we use DTFX style zones. The zone is this. That's the zone, right? Price come back in, trade out, right? Likewise, in the opposite sense, this is the zone. Price come back in and trade down, right? Now, if you look all over the map, there are zones. This is a zone, that's a zone, this is 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 a zone, you get it, right? Zones all over. But if you notice on the map, some zones hold and some don't. And if you're a type of trader where every zone you see you take, I guarantee you're not gonna make no money. See? So knowing which zones to avoid. No, this is all DTFX strategy, right? This is nothing new. I never make this up. DTFX straight, right? The zone where whenever you see a zone like this, right? This is the zone. And you have this dancing on top, this range accumulation, consolidation, whatever you want to call it on top. Then especially if like it's tipping, most of the time it's going to be tipping the zone. You probably have some top down here and thing where we're taught that once you see this, it's supposed to go to the 50%, right? And then it trade out. But most of the times when you see this, it usually going to kill the zone. It means the zone is about to be ripped up, right? This is considered a zone that you stay away from. If you're advanced, you can know how to scalp these zones, but let's focus on the basics right now, right? And this is not even basic. This is like lower mid-level knowledge, right? But all knowledge adds up. You can become profitable with basic knowledge, right? You just need more patience. All right. So let's look at the map and we'll show you. And also, guys, we're not, just because you know which zone to avoid at the end of this video, it doesn't mean that you abandon the swing count, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you see price reverse, right? Likewise, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and you see price reverse. We're not abandoning that. For those of you who don't understand the swing count, I suggest you stop this video, watch that video. It's called Market Structure Made Simple or something like that. Then you come back and watch this because it's going to open up your eyes better. Anyway, so we look at the zones that meet the criteria. You see this zone here? Now, first of all, this is a back testing. This is where price start. We don't know if this is a low, this is a high, and this is a low, and then price broke up to the top, and then this is a zone. Or likewise, we don't know that this is a high and it pull in, and then this Sorry. The high is way up here. Let me take off this. Don't want to mislead nobody. We don't know that if the high, damn it, man. We don't know that if the high is all the way up here and it coming down and this is just like another zone to, downtrend type. We don't know. All we see is this zone here. And we notice the accumulation on top of the zone. Then the zone is going to get run through, right? It just means the zone is weak. Now, if you're good enough, you can take a scalp, but we're not talking about that right now. So we're running through the map and we're looking. Look at this zone right here. You see this zone here? You see the accumulation under the zone? You see this zone and you see this ranging going on here? You know that this zone is about to get killed. Right? And it's all over the map. You can see it all over the map. You would look at this zone here, right? And you would think that this is a zone. This is not a zone. This is the zone. The low and the high. And also, when it comes to zones like these, I don't really trust them, because when price come back, because it's like this here and this here, this is more likely the zone. I don't really trust these zones, because when price come back, look, price come back to it, yeah, you get a trade up, but it liquidate it. But I just want let me try and stick to what I'm trying to demonstrate here. You see how you have this accumulation under the zone? What happened? It trade up and then it killed this. It killed the zone. Once it trade past this high, the zone is useless, right? And which means when the zone is useless, price come back to it and trade up. So some people, you might look at this and be like, the zone did its job. No, the zone didn't do its job, because the zone got liquidated here before it put in another low, or before it traded back into the range, right? It did not do its job, right? It did not do its job. Don't get it twisted and think, just because because, all right, let me explain. Let's say you take the 50% of this, right? And you say, it going to the low. So normally you'd come up here and you take a short. Some people, them see all of this happening, right? Them take the 50% here, them get a nice little shot, and them stay in the trade. And what happened? You might set your stop loss behind here. Let's say you step your stop loss overnight and you're like, all right, I'm going to wait till it, you set your stop loss behind the zone, and then you say, all right, I'm going to wait till it runs this low, because this low is my target. You trade up 50%, you see it coming down, you feel good. You trade up, you're like, trade back down, you feel good. You trade up, you are already in a loss here, right? You're already in a loss here. You trade down, you get some profit, right? But you're stubborn, so you want this to go down. Gone. Right? Trade up, nothing. Trade up, nothing. And then eventually, it take you out. So you have to be very strict with what you're doing. See? There's no half-ass business. Right? Back to the lesson at hand. Just like here. You see this zone here, this low, this high, right? You have the accumulation inside of the zone also, which means that, this little small zone, the accumulation here, is getting killed, right? Kill it, then it trade the other direction. Likewise here, you have this zone here. You have the accumulation on top of the zone. Yeah, this is a nice trade out. Perfect. Perfect. It doesn't always work like this, but look, if it trade out here and doesn't put in a new high, guess what? It's an equal high scenario. It's going to kill the zone regardless. I didn't say that these zones, if somebody with more experience, yes, they can trade these zones. They know what levels to take to get out of here and what to look for, right? But all in all, is something that even experienced people, they just stay away from it. They stay away from it, right? Let's see. Let's look for some more examples. Look at this one. This is a higher time frame example. You see this one here? You see this zone here? Nice zone, right? Even this one here. Let's look at the most recent zone. You see how it accumulate, tip. It don't really want to leave. You know, it just accumulating under here. Just know that this zone is getting killed. And once the zone, if you're in doubt, just wait for the zone to get liquidated. Because once the zone get liquidated, you know that, all right, these highs, all of these highs get taken out. Then you take the zone that's beyond the liquidation, and look, you get a nice short down, right? Look at this zone here. See, you have this zone here. You have the accumulation under the zone. Price trade up and take it out, right? It's all over the map, all over the map, right? You just need to know that when price come back to it, it come to take it out. Look at this higher time frame zone right here. You have this zone here, and you notice the liquidation. You're like, all right, cool, some liquidation. All right, price come back to it and take it out. You get a nice trade up. Yeah, but if you're greedy, you get liquidated right here, right? And then look, you see this zone here, right? You see the accumulation under the zone. Yeah, you get a nice trade down, but eventually if you don't hold it, you get the liquidation through it, right? So if you want to know how to trade these zones, right, my best bet for you is to wait until all of this is taken out. 1, 2, look for a zone inside the mess that is unmitigated, meaning that it's a clean, like nothing has touched it, nothing come near it. And then swing count, always talking about the swing count. 1, let me see if I can count some swings in here. You have, this is 1 swing, this is 2 swings, this is a 3rd swing, this is a 4th swing. So you have the swing count, right, leading up to the thing, and that's how you get the trade off of this thing if you're unsure, right? If you're unsure. Now there are cases where you will see the zone and you'll have the ranging on top, and it doesn't directly just immediately come back to it. Just know that when price come back to the zone, it's a high chance that the zone getting liquidated. Look at this zone right here. You see this zone here? Let's play it out. You see how it accumulating under there? Right? You ignore the swing count. Enough people ignore the swing count. These are not strong enough, big enough swings. 1, 2, 3. Right? Hasn't touched the 50% yet. Some people want to trade on the 30%. Don't know that you have this imbalance down here. Right? Don't know that you have an imbalance down here. Don't know the rule about imbalances. You see where this is playing up in the zone, and you're like, why would you stay in this torture? Why would you stay in this torture? Right? Don't make sense. You have a zone down here that's also, you see this zone here, have a lot of liquidation going through here. This zone get killed, right? It didn't make it to the 50. So some people would wait until this come back to the 50. If I see this, I'm not waiting. I'm not depending on this 50% to give me the trade out. To me, this zone is dead to me. So all I'm doing right now is waiting for some opportunity, probably a swing count, to take a long or whatever, right? So don't trust that. Anyway, this is taking too long to play out. Right? It's taking way too long to play out. But see, it tell you what happened right here on the lower time frame. The zone get liquidated. Now look. You see this? Look at that. You have accumulation under here. Do you have a swing count to go by off of? 1. This is 2 swings, right? I wish this was moving faster. Let me move it to the 15 minute. Come, I can't wait. See on the 15 minute, look what it look like on the 15 minute. Let's trade the 15 minute. Oh no, we run out of data. Wait, no. Oh yeah, we run out of data. Let's look on it on the daily. Look at this. Let me see if I can find. This is a resemblance of. This is a zone here. This is liquidation, accumulation. These are dailies, right? So you see how this zone here, you have this high, this low. You see the accumulation under here. You saw it. The candles come up and destroy it. Right? It's just like on the lower time frame. Let's look at another example. It's the same time frame that it was looking at, but this is the daily, so we can go further back in time. Look at that. You see the accumulation under here? The zone get killed. Right? So if I was looking for longs, I would look for this sort of scenario, and I would be like, all right, this zone is toast. I can find some long here. I can find longs here. Right? Look at this example here. You have this zone here. You see the accumulation under here on top of the zone. I'm like, all right, favorable, taking a short. Or if I was still long, I'll just wait until this low get clipped before I go long. It's all over the map. Look at this zone here, this little zone here. Accumulation. Now, if you notice on the higher time frame, it's like clearer. It's because, the 1 minute have its ebbs and flows. Look at this. Accumulation at the bottom of the range, obviously, after a pullback, obviously. Right? So I hope this helps you guys. And even a zone like this, well, it's kind of hard to but like, all right, you see this zone here? You see this come up? It's accumulation here. Chances are this zone is going to get ripped up. And if you incorporate swing counts, I don't know if this is a swing, I'm just, but this is definitely a swing here, right? And this is just one swing. So, you see this one here? You see the accumulation here? Best bet. Best believe it coming to take this. Right? Best believe. Best believe. Look at this one here. Let me see if I can find another one. We run out of data. But once again, you got to incorporate this with your swing counts, guys. Incorporate it with your swing counts. Right? Matter of fact, let's look at another. Let's look at Great Britain, Japanese yen. I'm going to take off the back testing thing. We go all over the map. We're on the daily. Go back, way back to when? Dinosaur time. You see this zone here? You have this, and it start accumulate on top. The zone get mitigated, liquidated. Go to the 15 minute. I like looking at the 15 minute. Once again, it's all over the map. It's just up to you to recognize it and know that, all right, something going on here. Look at the lower time frames. Let me see if we can find one here. Look at this one. You have this, you have this, you have this. You see these zones here? It's not safe. Right? Just look for it, you'll see it. You see this zone here? This zone, this down move that run all these highs, accumulating on top, it's not safe. Right? You see this? Nah, this one. This is a good example for you. Down move. You see the accumulation. It run the high. Right? This down move here. You see this accumulation. It trust me. This accumulation is like, nah. You know? What you probably want to do is wait until all of these get taken. Go down on the lower time frame. Look for something that is unmitigated, right? Chances are it might be this zone here or something lower, right? More likely something lower, and you would incorporate the swing count one, the larger swings. You don't want to look at these small swings. You want something like this, something breakdown here, and more likely probably the swing count ends under here. And then look at your zone here. Nice clean zone down here. Look at this. Nice clean zone. I would sit down and wait until here. Alright. Now, you're skilled enough. Let's say you're skilled enough to where you can maneuver inside of here. Then you would count the smaller swings. 1, 2, 3. And just wait until this get clipped. And then you would see the reverse happening. Like how I say, you see this accumulation on top here. You would wait for the reverse, and then it will give you the sign to go up, right? So there's multiple ways you can use this. Let's go on the hourly and look and see if we can see things on the hourly. Like, let's say you're on the hourly time frame, right? And you see this. You see this zone here, and you see all this accumulation here. Especially if you see like a double bottom. You know for a fact that, all right, I see this accumulation. Even if you come up here and you see, because even if this, like on the hourly, this is a lot, this is 1, 2, 3 hours of price going down. You know that, all right, when I come back down here, chances are this zone is not going to take me down here to liquidate me. Let's say you're just blind and you set your stop loss down here and you're like, yo, see the zone here. I'm in a business. See the zone here. What date is this? I want to see if we can backtest this. We can backtest this, Alright, so yo, check this. Start at a bar. You see this zone? Alright. So you say, alright, yo, I'm in a business. You go to the 1 minute. You see how clean this zone is right here? You see how clean, well, it's not that clean, but it's clean enough to where nothing no mitigate, like it's not touching the 50%, right? You have a clean zone here. So what would I do? You count your swings, right? So this is one swing. Right? Just bear with me. I'll show you this how it play out. Yo, it take long enough star. Jesus. Give me 5 minutes it out. So you get that. So the swing cut. What the hell? Doing some funky things. Oh, my fault. I never have on my no gap. That's weird. Alright. So yeah. So you have it happened already. So it dipped down in here, top here and gone up. Let's look at the mechanism. Remember we said that this zone was being mitigated multiple times, So when you're down to the bottom of the range, you're long, and when you're top of the range, you're short. And look. It just trade up. You might think that, we're good. No, once again, if you're in doubt and you want to take a shot, you have this. But just do it with the swing count. So you'll probably count you have some little swings in here. Maybe they'll be too small to do anything. Probably 1, 2, 3, you know. But you wait until these highs get taken. Let me color this differently. I know I've gone way beyond the basics now, but yo, some stay here, man. You just have to bear with me. See? You'd wait till these highs get... Look, not even. You still get killed. You see? No swings to count. That's why I tell you, the swing count is very, very important. Now, me personally, I'm not taking them trades. I always take this. Always. The swing count is my number one thing I do. I look at this narrative, I'm going to say, all right, this is going to kill. This zone, it don't make sense a shot out of here. I see that. And then let's say I start count my swings here. Let's say this is 1. Even though, well, this is a week. So yeah. All right. Let's say this is 1. And then this is the second swing. You see how small this other swing is? But let's say this is the third swing. That's only 3 swings. And even on the third swing, how much swings you have on the third swing? 1. This is 1. This is 2. Maybe 3. I wouldn't even count this as the third swing. The third swing would come from... No, that's not the third swing. The third swing would probably come from here, maybe. But let's see. Look up. Bam. All right, that's the third swing. All right. And I lost count. Hold on. 1, 2. This is not really a third swing for me, but just say this is inside this down move to come up. This is just 2 swings because they're not the same size, right? The swings have to be the same size. Look, you see this? So that's 3. And you see, no, it want a shot when it take it. But that's just because it tapped this imbalance down up here. This long candle is an imbalance. 1. To me, this would be 2 swings. 1, 2. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much what you have to look at with these zones. All right. So use it, study it. Don't take my word for it. Back test it for yourself. See how it work out for you. See if there's any way you can incorporate this into your trading plan. All right. Look more. Peace.